about how I wouldn't really put it past this movie to do something like that.
You're listening to Chicagoland's finest podcast.
I'm Cousin Charles.
Featuring the
I'm the
Gorehound.
Well, because I'm bringing
all
us
new
in.
Culture
Jen.
Cast back again.
I mean, it's horrifying because,
our
you know,
final Shark
Cousin
Week
Charles.
2018 installment. We've been looking at the Jaws
And
series.
Nick.
We come to, I thought I was going to screw it up again, the final
It's
chapter
time
of the Jaws
for
saga.
the all-new
Jaws,
Culture Cast.
The Revenge.
Starting now.
Woo!
So, who wants to give the breakdown premise of Jaws, The Revenge?
I'll volunteer as tribute.
Let's hear it, guys.
Jaws: The Revenge is the final chapter in the Jaws filmology. It takes place sometime after. I just assume it ignored the other sequels because that's what it felt like it did. But it takes place sometime after the events of presumably the first Jaws movie, maybe like 10 plus years. It follows not Chief Brody, because he has died of a heart attack due to fear of the shark.
Yes.
It instead follows...
I can't let you go on. He was never... Like, he was afraid of it, but, like, he was always like, I'm going to kick that thing's ass. Like, his fear of it wasn't that great.
The movie clearly says, Gorehound, Chief Brody died because of the fear of the shark. It just was too much on his poor little heart. That and
He is
probably
correct.
all the drinking may have...
They
I-
do state that, Gorehound.
No, I know, and I heard it, and I was like, that is stupid. He was not afraid of it. It was his goal to destroy this thing.
I mean, Jaws 2, he was pretty stressed out about that shark. I mean, that can't be good for a man of his age. Anyhow,
but it wasn't fear. It was anger and hatred for it.
Okay, Cuz is just trying to tell the plot.
Okay.
You could argue with it when he's done.
Okay. Continue.
I'm just letting this go. I'm just sitting back and enjoying this conversation right now.
I'm going to quote Yoda on this from The Phantom Menace. Fear leads to anger. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to vengeance. Something the dark side.
You just totally destroyed that quote. Way to like just fail at that.
All right, so we're talking Star Wars now, right?
Yeah.
We'd be
No,
better
Star
off
Trek,
talking,
right?
Yeah, Star Trek.
Oh, well, I might. But anyhow, so to finish up the recap, basically, spoiler. No, we're talking. The youngest son, who's doing pretty well, who's survived throughout most of these movies, gets killed in a pretty brutal way.
Where he
like
has
the
his
first
arm in his jacket and pretends like he got bit.
I mean,
Oh, that
No,
was
he's-
bad. Yeah.
he's trying there. He's trying to hide it as best he can.
Keep trying.
But it's pretty kind of like, that typical horror movie, like, oh no, something horrifying, and then cut to, they're singing Christmas carols, and then cut back to something horrifying. But anyhow, so he dies, shark attack. Basically, it brings not Dennis Quaid, and who plays Ellen Brody? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Anyhow, it basically follows the last two remaining original Brodies as they travel down to the Bahamas. Mrs. Brody gets herself involved in a Lifetime movie plot where she has
With Michael Caine.
Michael Caine popping into this Jaws movie. And there's one quick comment I wanted to bring about Dennis Quaid from Jaws 3D that I will apply to Michael Caine, which is both those actors look like they were born old. Like, they do not look like they were ever young. They just look perpetually old.
But they look good old.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like polished. It's like a polished old. Like, you can still see the lines, but it's like, it looks good.
Alrighty. Let's wrap up this summary. This has been going on for like 20 hours now.
Sharks are now they have a blood revenge against the Brodies. They're laying traps. They're tracking them to the Bahamas. They're eating their kids.
Going to
Michael's
find
going
your
for-
kids, hide your wife, because the shark's going to get you.
Yeah, so that's pretty much Jaws: The Revenge.
Good wrap
Thank
up.
you.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Can you repeat that?
Well,
Yeah, so one thing you kind of left out is that what was the wife's name again? Was it Ellen?
Ellen Brody.
Ellen Brody. Is that she may or may not have a psychic connection to the shark?
yeah,
Where-
that's kind of.
Anytime the shark attacks, she like feels it,
Yeah.
and it's like she turns into Sarah Connor at the end of the movie when she's on the beach
Yeah.
and she turns around and like Terman goes on that boat.
I was like, what are you going to do? You're an old white woman. You're not going to do anything. But
It's just
let's
if-
see where this goes.
Which apparently, according to the original script, that was the case, that the sharks had a vengeance against the Brody family, and somehow the shark followed them from wherever Amityville is all the way down to the Bahamas.
Not
because-
Amityville. Amity.
Oh, Amity, sorry. The crossover movie. And she would have had a psychic connection to the shark, which I kind of wish they stuck to that, because that would have been absolutely bonkers crazy and would have made this movie so much better.
See, again, though, they're implying it's the same shark.
This
Right.
time, yeah, that there's definitely this one implies it more than any of the others, I feel.
Yeah.
But I was almost thinking of you, Gorehound, when I was thinking about how it would have a psychic connection, like that the Jaws series just goes on this weird, wild tangent. Kind of like how the Halloween series, how about midway through, suddenly Michael Myers is like connected to this like druid cult that wants world domination, and he has like,
Oh, yes.
and like those films just got completely off the rails. And just think, if Jaws did that, we can be having a Jaws reboot right about now.
Right, yeah, and that's where the spirit or the soul of Jaws would have been the persevering element that keeps the series going.
How can the same thing happen to the same guy 2 times? So let's see.
Yeah.
You know,
But yeah, when she goes out on that boat to go get it, I was like, what are you going out there for? I was like, unless you can like jump onto it with like a samurai sword, you clearly don't have any weapons to take this thing down. So
that would be amazing if she had a samurai sword in her like 80s sweater.
right, because like you can't really hide anything in there. But I was like, if she pulled out a samurai sword, I wouldn't hold it against the continuity. I'm like, okay, samurai sword it's very long. You could fit it along the side of the boat. And I believe that if you jumped onto a shark with a samurai sword, straight up and down, and you wiggled it around, there's a possibility you could kill it.
Were you intending to rhyme there? Straight up and
No,
down, you can wiggle it around.
No, that's completely unintentional. I was just rolling.
Now you're rolling. Call that the Jaws dance.
But yeah, moving on.
I have a confession to make. I think I like this movie a little bit more than Jaws 3, even though I guess that's the minority opinion out there. But
No, I would second that, because this one wasn't as campy as stupid. They were like actually trying at a story, and the third one I felt like was still, well, not intentional. It was still riding along the fence of a spoof. This one, it was like, okay, this is a Jaws movie. They're trying. It's just still really stupid.
The first thing that made me like this movie, I would say I do like it. There are a lot of things I gotta agree with you, Nick. Because one, it did definitely the whole trauma of like a character going through like a shark attack, or like through the sort of like experience, kind of like how they're sort of really kind of sort of breaking down. Like I felt like they did that really good with Ellen Brody for the most part. And then the other thing that made me like this film a lot more than Jaws 3 was that everything was in focus, because everything was clear. I could see everything. Nothing looked fuzzy or anything like that. It actually looked like it was well shot a couple times. So, I mean, it's a much better, it's a more well-made movie, I would say, than 3 or 2.
Right. They took out the CGI. They went back to the animatronics, and I think it was an overall better fit for the Jaws series.
I would say 2 is better than the 1. I don't know. Kiwi, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's comparable.
2 is definitely better than 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Hashtag end thread.
The biggest problem that I had with this movie was Ellen Brody's decision to go to the Bahamas. As soon as her son dies, she was like, I want you off of the water. I don't ever want you to go near water again. And then they're in the Bahamas. And I'm like, you just told your son to quit his job. And now you're just like, let's just get out of town, but let's still stay near water. That is my biggest beef, because she is supposed to be like, she is the one who's in control. She is a strong and independent woman. But then she's like, I don't want you guys going near the water, but let's just go near the water. And I was just, I don't understand what's her motivation. What does she want throughout this entire movie? Other than, don't kill my family. But
maybe she was like just acting out in grief because she lost her son, and she knows that her other son, that's his job, so she's like, fine, but she still wanted to get away so she could be with the family. I don't know. There wouldn't be a movie, Gorehound, if...
Honestly, if they just went inland, we'd be like, okay, there's no problem anymore.
Come and get me now, Jaws.
Right, psychic connection ended unless, he becomes
Chicago.
freshwater. Yeah, he goes up the Illinois River or something.
Jaws on the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Was anyone else surprised how fast they killed Sean?
Yeah. First, that was like the first kill. No, was it? No. Yes, it was the first kill.
He
yeah,
died.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They needed someone to die, and I guess he's as good as anyone.
Yeah. Go ahead, Gorehound.
And I think it was a good kill, because in the third one you just have these unknown characters getting killed, and you know that you can really do whatever you want with them and not really have any repercussions. But this one, you're like, okay, his death actually has an impact on the other characters in the film, and that actually builds to the story.
That's actually something I was going to say about the deaths. I do feel like in this movie, when the shark actually attacks somebody, it actually feels visceral. It feels like, somebody's actually getting attacked. Like, except for the greatest death in history in Jaws 2, none of the other deaths in Jaws 2 really had that much impact or felt very, like, brutal or, like, vicious. It just felt like somebody was playing around with the animatronic shark. And in 3 especially, it just looked very... None of the deaths looked very silly. It just looked like people were slowly floating into the shark's mouth. But this one, it felt like when the shark attacked, it felt like brutal. It felt, I think because there was more blood. Like the blood felt like that right kind of movie blood, where it's just like a certain color that's like, ooh, that's creepy, or you know what I kind of mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel that the kills in this movie, there weren't that many shark kills in this movie? There might have been like 2, and there were so many people escape, including Michael Caine.
Yeah, and even the token black guy didn't die.
No, he mysteriously survived as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I called BS on that one.
Yeah, I was like, he's gonna die, but no, we didn't see him, because he was still like wiggling around underwater, and I was like, okay, maybe he might come back. He might.
Well, they made the shark go insane with the electrical impulses. That somehow...
I call BS on that one too. Yeah, they somehow became exploding, which I backed that up, and I never caught where they said it was going to explode.
Yeah, it was just supposed to make him go crazy and maybe give him some pain, but
Yeah, I thought it was just spotlight. I was like, I don't know how a spotlight can explode like that, but okay, maybe I missed like some critical sentence.
Yeah, the Wikipedia summary says that they made an explosive, but when we watched it, Kiwi, we dig back up, and there's
We did.
no mention of them an explosive. It was just supposed to annoy the shark.
Ah, so annoying.
And yes, this is we have confirmation that the shark does roar in this movie. He pops out of the water and goes roar.
Rawr. A few times.
Yeah. That's a whole another kind of special.
It was great.
There was one thing I did want to mention. This is kind of like a weird sort of like detail, but at one point, I think this is like before I think the second time we see the shark in the Bahamas, like when he attacks Michael, his Jamaican friend who's like, again they're like, give a guy with a really thick Jamaican accent to just do his thing, but he's doing the Jaws thing. Did anyone find that a little weird?
Is he?
Yeah, no, like when Michael's like, they're like looking for like the conches, the Jake, I think is the character's name, he goes like bum bum ba bum ba bum, like that's the Jaws theme, like that's the beginning of that theme. And it's like, and I think I looked at Megan, I was like, they're doing the Jaws theme in the movie, which doesn't make any sense because you and I know that's the Jaws theme because we've seen Jaws, but it's like, how does anyone else know this? Or why are they even referencing this?
Maybe there's another movie in the world of the film that's called Teeth. Not the Teeth that was made like 10 years ago.
Oh, that is one of my favorite horror movies.
But like it was about a shark attack movie.
Yeah.
Do you want to do Teeth later on as a podcast episode?
If you can sit through it. I know the Graveyard Queen has a difficult time sitting through it.
But it's like a female empowerment film, from my understanding.
Everything about that movie I just think is great, but that is an entirely different topic.
Yeah. Okay. We'll stick a pin in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anyone get bugged by the melodrama they threw into this movie? I felt like they needed to pad it out with the romance between Michael Caine and Ellen, and then the maybe sort of, I don't know, marital problems between the son and his wife, who's like the sculpture person.
The son and the wife, I didn't think were that there wasn't much focus on it, because this was also made, quite a few years back, and relationships were a bit different. So I was like, okay, maybe that's just how they interact. And all their arguments, never really ended too terribly.
You didn't take out the trash.
Yeah. That argument, I was like, that's a good argument. That's real life.
It's like,
because
I identify with that.
Yes. But no, the Michael Caine and Ellen, I was bored with that from the get-go. I was like, sure, she is integral to the Jaws series, but, I'm not watching this for Ellen. I'm watching this for Jaws. Let's get back to it.
What if Ellen dated Jaws?
Oh, man's bestiality?
Well, she's like, I have a connection with him. He's my soulmate.
Next scene, you see her just riding him through the ocean.
Yes, with the samurai sword.
Yeah, seashell bikini.
And her in her sweater that she wore.
Oh, yeah.
In her Golden Girls sweater.
Yeah.
And
what if Michael Caine was like a were-Jaws, where like, Ellen, I have a confession. I turned into the shark that ate your son at random whenever the moon is full.
Oh, that would be a great twist to it.
That's actually a good idea for a movie. I would watch a movie called Were-Shark.
Yeah, the Asylum has not made any werewolf shark conversion movies yet, or versus movies.
Gorehound, let's get on it.
Yeah.
Let's get Michael Caine to reprise his role. I hear he'll do anything nowadays. Um, Kiwi, you've been kind of quiet a little bit. What thoughts? What's going on through your mind about Jaws Revenge?
I would say there's nothing that I really enjoyed about the movie.
Okay.
Distinctly put, I like it.
I don't know. I mean, I was shocked they killed the son right off the bat, which also then Michael had a different woman in his life because the end of the third one, he and his girlfriend were going to go to study, I think, overseas somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And now this movie starts and he's got a wife and a kid.
And a new job,
And
too.
yeah, that's right. Completely different.
I'm guessing we could probably say that this movie totally ignored Jaws 3.
Yeah. Which, don't you want to ignore it too, though?
I suppose.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think the best part about this movie was Michael Brody. I thought that I felt like the movie was trading off between Michael and Ellen, and I thought that I looked forward to the parts with Michael much more. His underwater scenes or his interactions with the Jamaican guy were pretty entertaining. The shark chase through that abandoned or that decrepit ship on the bottom of the floor, I thought that was pretty fun, despite the illogical shark fitting through the doors. I was like, it's...
Hey, if the shark could travel from Amity to the Bahamas within like a day's time, it could fit through a couple of doors.
Yeah, I was like, the shark can't fit through there, but I was like, who am I kidding? That shark could fit through anything. It's like an octopus.
You know, there's one line in this movie that's so ridiculous that I can't help but laugh at it. Is towards the beginning when Michael and his wife and the daughter come there, the daughter's talking to, I don't know, someone, and she says like, "My uncle's dead. Does that mean he? What did she say? Something like, my uncle's dead. Does that mean he's going to be okay?" And it's just such a weird line.
And she says, "We'll talk about it later."
Yeah. And, I mean, I get she's young and the kids that age don't maybe quite understand what death is, but...
You could come up with a better line than, "We'll talk about it later."
Oh, I'm just saying, like, the little kids line. I mean...
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a adult and a random kid said that to me, I'd probably brush it off as well. It's like, I'm not having this conversation. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
But...
There was also, Megan wanted me to bring this up. There were a couple times, I think there were like 2 lines where they talk about like Michael and his wife's sex life.
Oh yeah, in front of the little girl.
In front of the little girl and in front of the mom. Like, I think one time, he's like, his friend gets him like some tacky Hawaiian shirt, and it's like, "This will improve your sex life, Mom." Something like that.
Oh, right.
And then, like, the daughter-in-law and Ellen, and she says something to Ellen about, like, or something like that, about, again, awkwardly bringing up your sex life, which is like, I don't know. All I'm saying is the room did it better when it brought up how your sex life is doing.
Yes,
You know, I can't talk about that. It's confidential. Anyway, how's your sex life?
No, I repeated that quote verbally because
To your in-laws?
To my wife, because when there's a good quote, I will oftentimes yell and repeat it. And this one was it was along the lines of, "If only your sex life was as busy as your shirt." And I was like, oh, that's such a great line, because before I even said that, I was like, that is a great shirt. I want that shirt.
You know, they should get that quote and put it on shirts.
Yeah.
If only your sex life was as
busy as this shirt.
Was as busy as this shirt.
Because that was a pretty busy shirt, but as does Hawaiian shirts, they are busy.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Hawaiian shirts. Someone doesn't let me wear them.
I have one.
I've outgrown mine.
they're making a comeback.
Oh, that's good.
You know, it's not making a comeback. The Jaws series.
Or did it in Jaws 19?
Jaws 19, yes.
Yeah, we kind of missed that. We kind of missed that window. Sorry, Marty.
Does anybody have this one or know how we can watch it?
Have what?
Jaws 19.
I have bad news for you, Gorehound. It doesn't actually exist.
No?
No, believe it or not.
Released 2015 in Russia.
Well, I don't know. Ask. I'm not going to say political comments. Never mind. Shut up, Nick.
Yeah, it was released in September of 2015.
All right, let's Google this really quickly. Jaws 19 in Russia. Huh.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Vladimir Putin in Jaws 19. What?
Oh my gosh, it's available on YouTube. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's great. Oh, this is shitty. Oh my gosh. This is great. I'm going to have to watch this as soon as review forthcoming.
All right, I look forward. I don't think I'll be watching this one.
No need to worry. I will cover review solo.
Okay. Will that be next week's episode?
We'll see if I can get through this. It's 63 minutes, but it's gonna be a tough 63 minutes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I look forward to that.
In preparation for the Jaws movies, I want a Jaws podcast.
No.
Nick, were you going to say something?
No, you're just kind of cutting out there a little bit.
So. In preparation for this podcast, there is a Jaws podcast that is focusing on the production of the first Jaws. And I was going to listen to it, but I realized that it had like a really high production value, and it's kind of like story based, or at least that's what the first 5 minutes were. But I just wanted to mention that if somebody was interested, that they could find this podcast. Yeah, do a little bit of research to see what the actual name is.
It's a great story, Gorehound. Thanks for bringing it.
Hey, no, Inside Jaws from Wondery. It seemed very legit, but it was these more higher production value podcasts are a bit more difficult to listen to at work because they're more like story based and not really conversational based, and so it's difficult to really get into them. Moving on.
All right. Well, I don't know if we can talk about Jaws: The Revenge anymore. I think we've kind of covered it. Does anyone have any final thoughts on Jaws: The Revenge?
Why do you think that we aren't seeing any more Jaws movies?
Because there was one really good one and one mediocre one and two god-awful ones?
Yeah, but I mean, they're reinventing, Freddy and Jason and Michael. They're all being reinvented nowadays, so why not reinvent Jaws?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a couple ideas. Because I was kind of thinking of that as we were going through all these movies. Because, this franchise is primed for, a big, soft reboot of the entire Jaws, franchise as a whole. Kind of like Jurassic Park or, I'm trying to think about Star Wars or anything like that. I think the biggest thing is just, unlike Freddy or Jason or any of the other great slasher villains, there's really only so much you can do with a shark.
Right, yeah. You're on a coast and you kill people. Right,
and Freddy and Jason, they can get you pretty much, there's really
anywhere.
no way to truly escape them.
Yeah, you can bring them to space, and you're good.
Yeah. I mean, but a shark, it's stay away from the water. Okay. And I think one of my notes, I think one of the reasons that they don't work the same way as other slasher monsters do is I think because a shark is a real animal and not like a supernatural creature of the deep, when you start seeing, okay, now the shark playing a trick and like stalking people. Then I think it takes away some of that believability. Like this is something that could happen. Like an undead killer like can do pretty much whatever because it's like that's what an undead killer does.
Just throw some voodoo in there and we're good.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking with the whole Ellen Brody has a connection to the shark was getting a voodoo queen to like put some sort of hex on Alan and something like that. But I don't know, like I don't even know what you could do with like a modern day Jaws. Like the only thing I can think of, I saw the trailer for this. I think the last time I went to the movies. There's something with Jason Statham called The Meg.
Yeah, that looks. I'm excited to see it, despite having Jason Statham in it.
Yeah, and that looks pretty. I mean, it looks a little. I mean, that looks like a sci-fi original movie with a bit more of a budget, but it's like that's really the only thing I could think of that you could do with the Jaws name on it. Is like, you got to go bigger, make it a real monster of the deep, but there's really not too much else you can do kind of with a shark. It's like there's only so much. I mean, you could maybe have like Brody's grandson is visiting Amity where the horror began and he's seeing it all happen again or something like that. I mean, you'd have to get either really creative in a dumb way or you just have to just basically read Jaws and just say, here's a new Jaws movie. But I don't know. I wouldn't be too shocked in like 5 years you get an announcement of like Jaws 5 or Jaws: The Shark Awakens or something like that.
Origins.
Yeah. Ooh, that would.
Yeah.
That actually might work. I could see that happening because there was like. They mentioned in the first Jaws movie, there's like a real case that inspired, or a real incident sort of inspired Jaws. That actually could work as a movie. So, I don't know. I mean, there's probably a bunch of reasons why they haven't made Jaws, but I wouldn't be too shocked if you heard in like the next couple of years, Jaws reboot in the making with Chris Pratt as the lead. Tell me that's not a movie trailer already.
In a world.
It's not a movie trailer I'd watch. I'm Team Anna Faris, so.
Well, I'm Team J-Law, because she ruined their marriage.
Yeah.
For a really crappy movie that nobody saw.
Right.
Alrighty. Well, I think we're about done here. As much as I'd love to hear more about your thoughts on Jaws reboots.
You don't want to hear about the Meg?
No, I'm good.
We can move on.
So, thank you for everyone who's followed us this week. We had 4 episodes this week, all about the Jaws, and that's all I got. So, for all of my wonderful co-hosts, I'm Nick.
The Gorehound.
Cousin Charles.
The Kiwi.
And this has been the all-new Culture Cast. We will catch you next week with another very special episode.
Happy Shark Week.
You've been listening to the all-new Culture Cast. Check out our blog at znculturecast.wordpress.com. Send us an email at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, comments, and requests. Follow us on social media. Theme music by bensound.com. The all-new Culture Cast, a saltwater production. Original material copyright 2018. Thanks for listening.
It's more likely Gremlins.
Gremlin sharks. I don't remember what we were talking about.